Club NGMI.
We are so glad you made it to Club NGMI. Lucky episode 13, it appears. We are here. Lou, how was your week, buddy?
It was all right. I think I missed on a lot of mints this week, but I think it just goes back to the idea that you don't mint just anything. Do a little research before hopping in. It seems like a lot more of these projects are just instantly rugging. What was the one? It was like, was that the Pixelverse, something like that? It rugged like 5 minutes right after sellout. And so it seems like it's becoming a little more common that, avoid the anon projects is what I would say.
Like a literal rug?
No,
I think they got it listed, right?
No. Like they sold out, moved the 90 ETH to a different wallet, and never heard from again.
Huh. Was that the 2 pixel bears?
No, it was this thing that was just like a GIF, and it looked like there was going to be some game involved. And their trick was they said if you sent it back in, then they'd pay you the 0.08 ETH. So that like got people to buy it on secondary for under the 0.08, but those people didn't realize that they had already moved the ETH. It was like this whole thing. Like the concept sounded kind of cool where you could like burn the NFT to get money back, but it like clearly was just all a fake.
Huh. I definitely have those, but I don't know what they're called. So yeah okay, Lou, I gotta listen.
Serena's saying that they stole the art from a different game and they just like posted it, and I mean made like 90 ETH off of it. So decent deal for them.
Yeah.
Decent.
They got some of my money. Trey, how was your week? You're still down in Florida, it seems.
Still in Florida. Leave next Monday, so still got another week here. So my FOMO, I've been spending time with my family. Just got in on Saturday. I was down here with my mom earlier. So FOMO has definitely been tested as I've been away from the metaverse per se for a little bit here. So but I mean, probably the best week possible to be away given the state of the market right now. So can't complain. It's been good to soak up the sunshine here a little bit, but ready to get back after it with you guys.
Who amongst the normies in the house gets the NFTs the best, and who gets it the least?
Oh man, it's funny you asked that because my parents have some friends over tonight. My grandparents live here in this development too, and they have some of their friends over, and so my dad loves talking to people about this NFT stuff that I do, and so it did come up actually just here like 15 minutes ago. We were having a really and one of the ladies was just like, she was really trying to understand it, and I feel like I was doing a decent job trying, doing my best to articulate kind of crypto in general, NFTs, and all that stuff, and it's difficult for that. It's still a challenge, but it was a fun conversation to have. I think we made at least a little bit of progress.
So did they understand you going on like a YouTube show? We're going to chat with your internet friends. Like, was that able to be understood, or was that weird?
Yeah, I mean, I guess they kind of get that in general, that I'm gonna, that I'm doing a YouTube stream or a podcast that other people can listen to. They get that. It's the digital currency and the digital assets and why they're valuable, aside from these physicals and stuff. It's funny. Oh, I am in another room. Yeah, I got kicked out of the main living room.
Babs, how was your week, my friend?
It was pretty good. I didn't miss a lot of mints because I can still remember how to win a gas war, unlike Trey over there.
Oh shit!
What one was that?
So it's gonna be one of those.
He doesn't hit anything anymore.
Oh, I swear to God, I don't.
But to be honest, like some of those ones he hit, they ended up a low mint anyway, so might have been better off that you didn't miss. But
hey, I got Shamdows. That's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly. You got
Man,
those.
Shamdows.
But again, like it's like Lou kind of mentioned, more treading water these days. Like I've been burned on a few mints where you mint them and 8 hours later they're worth absolutely nothing. So I don't find that happened a month or so ago, but nowadays it's if you mint something, there's a good chance it might be worth 0 within 8 hours. So it's harder to even like recover 30% of your money. So like just treading water a little more carefully, trying to pick which ones I actually want to mint. But by being burned on a few of those makes you a little more cautious of even like aping into as hard as things as I would have otherwise. Like those Shamdows the other day, I probably would have minted 25 of them if I wasn't, a little worried about winter. But good otherwise.
That one was a smash.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Shamdows were a smash from the beginning.
to
Are we
mint
already
them,
doing this?
for
It feels
sure.
early for Shamdow. Can we ease into Shamdow?
Okay. Well, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I thought the entire stream was going to be on Shamdows.
I'll have a ticker. Shamdow 0.45 is selling right now for Shamdow.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
well,
It was 0.35
Oh
when
my
I hopped into the StreamYard.
That's insane.
Yeah,
What about a
it's
pond?
nuts.
Come on. How could you not buy?
2 minutes ago, Eric Z in the chat, 0.4.
Yeah,
So-
I had to delist before the stream started because the last 2 episodes I've been on, I've sold something while on stream and regretted it.
I'm probably going
And,
to delist right while
yeah.
we're talking. So just
I'm looking at
Toads
mine just
were
all
one of
revealed.
them.
I have my last 2 at
I'm looking at
0.45.
mine
So watch me panic delist here live on stream.
If it's at 0.45, you should, and you don't want to.
Well, it's at 0.469 because I have Mimi numbers, but yeah.
Yeah, I have one listed. It's at 0.69. I haven't delisted that one, but I mean, if that sells,
I just want to list one
Fine.
so that if I have all of them sell at once, I can at least have one moon bag,
That makes sense. That makes sense, Babs.
I think something maybe we want to talk about is like we've kind of already seen the death of these staking projects. They've already.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I mean, at least I should say more so like the piggybacked ones. So the OG ones, like the Kongs, like that's still fine. The mutant cats seems to be working fine, but now there's like every day there's a new. We're gonna stake and it's for cool cats that we're gonna buy. And the space cats was a rug. There's like 4 more for toads. The ether monkeys, that one was, I mean, Homer.eth kind of went off the wall on that one. How are the Zugs doing? Are those good? I don't have any.
Yeah, they're doing pretty good. I think the floor last I checked was still around 1.5. They had some issues with migrating to a new contract that kind of held things up, created a little FUD, but otherwise, like for the supply constantly increasing every day because they're going through the mice thing right now with breeding. The floor is held up decently well, so I'm still bullish. Like I think they're doing a decent job other than the contract issues. So people haven't completely bailed on them like they did with Stack Toads, right?
I just read that.
He doesn't. He abandoned us. He was all like gung ho the one day, and then 2 days later, he's in there talking about sweatpants and MacBook Pros and.
I'm doing everything I can. I sent, what was it, 99 Zug, 89 Zug, something just before the show. We're zugging away.
How much is a Zug worth?
So the last mint
Really?
cycle was 80 Zug for 1 orc was what it was. So.
Oh, so
we
you
through the
traded
80s
back
already?
in to get a new orc.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And the orc's still over like, I don't know, were they over like 3 ETH still or
No, it's like 1.5 now, but
As
the
there's more
supply,
yeah.
yeah.
That makes sense. Oh, that's
Yeah.
a good point. That's what we should talk about. Your boy.
We're gonna get like you all are just like
Yeah, he's got a show.
firing.
He's got a show sheet. You think we just,
Sorry.
you think we just
So
wing it?
fast.
We do have a
all
show
the
sheet
fans
have
are
a
today.
show
asking.
sheet. We have a
We
whole
do
floor
have-
match here.
We do
Lou.
have a show sheet today.
Yeah, but we'll put you behind the curtains, Lou. Like you got to get them frothy. Like they want to hear my take on Shamdow. You guys are like talk about Shamdow. I'm like no, like just let me be the heel in good time. We'll get there. I will gladly be the heel. On the orc stuff, I am still bullish too because they are doing new stuff. I think on chain, and this is like I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, if you will, on this one. This is the start of the game. This is not the game yet. The game is literally an RPG on chain, which seems nuts. Like I can go take my super cool looking orc, which we should pull up some of those cool orcs, Babs, and like show them, because actually the pixel art is pretty badass if you're a nerd, and a lot of us are nerds, and it just looks cool. Like they've got badass helmets, and like there's one guy, he's got 2 shields, but one shield's got like spines on it, so he's gonna beat the crap out of people in dungeons. So yeah, it looks cool. I saw a Dom tweet, and I'm an admitted Dom stan, and it was about the upcoming game related to Sup Drive, and it was like pre-Sega Genesis style skateboard game, like 2D scroller, and I'm like, this is what we're doing. So I'm wondering what the orc UI is going to look like, because coming from a software background, the UI is important, and what it looks like is important. So if it looks cool, then I think it is cool.
Crypto Raiders.
Am I sharing?
I missed the Crypto Raiders.
Is this actually sharing?
I bought so many Crypto Raiders that one night. Like, I think I bought like 20 of
similar.
them.
I'm assuming it'll be kind of the similar graphics to that one.
I was gonna ask, what's the difference between the two? Because I never got into the Crypto Raiders game. I ended up selling out of almost all of them. I think I still have 2 that are just sitting in my OpenSea that I have not converted to Polygon. So I don't even know if I can still do that. But
that was
what's the difference there? So the whole point is that you're what?
0.65 Shamdoo sale on a base
sale. Oh, I mean, that could have been like a rare one or something.
Yeah, like they're pretty similar in concept, Trey. I think the biggest difference, as Dangy mentioned, is like orcs are all on chain. I don't think Crypto Raiders are, and
no, I doubt they are.
And there's more game theory with like choosing to farm or choosing to stake. So you can either choose to like train and level up your guys, or you can choose to farm and earn Zug. So there's game theory and like, do you want to like farm the guy and get more Zug, or do you want to train him to level up so that he can raid higher level dungeons? So it's kind of a cool concept. Like it's a little bit more complicated than mice, which I like. Like mice is just you're staking, you're breeding. This actually has a little bit of game theory. You can make your orcs look different with new items. Like it's just cool to have like an RPG that's fully on chain. And you know, like one that actually has cool game theory. Like that's the biggest difference, I'd say, though.
And I'm going to harp on it again. This is just the start, and I think we're at another level after this too, because we're currently burning some Zug to make more orcs. What happens after that, based on the contract, is we're going to use Zug to re-roll orcs. So we're burning Zug. And then what happens after that when the real game is happening? Where will Zug be in the actual game? Can we then re-level stuff? And also when we re-level your hand, your offhand, and your helmet, there's a finite number of those items. So when those are gone, what does that mean? So yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting as far as the long-term goes, once they finish building out what that looks like. And Babs, you even mentioned a few times when we were re-rolling stuff, like the gas is really low. It's very efficient on these contracts. It's better than we expect. So one of the biggest problems I could see with an on-chain game is ETH is not cheap. ETH is pumping. It's back down a little bit, but it's up there. And so gas is expensive. So spending hundreds of dollars to battle people in a dungeon, not sure about that. But we'll see what that looks like as far as on-chain and how efficient the contracts are. So I think what Babs has said is right. It's market stuff. There's more orcs. Therefore, the price has gone down. I need to stop. Like I'm looking at just head DAO activity. That's literally what I see on my screen, aside from you guys, and it's distracting.
They're currently at the same price as Purrnelope's.
Ooh,
why'd you have to say that?
That's a tough scene.
that is jeez.
That's impressive so far. So my take on that with the because another piece of news that came out this week was Steam isn't going to let NFTs in games on their platform. And so I think that, originally our thesis was games that already exist will add NFTs to them. But I think with Steam, and I think I heard Epic Games is planning on doing something similar. If the big name companies that are already build out all these games, then are we going to see game development anytime soon? I don't know. I think it's going to get pushed back because of this, because it's not going to be like big name companies doing it. So maybe this is going to be the type of games we see for a little bit. We saw that Becker one that the game that was created to do the free mint was a very basic game. So I think all the games we've really been seeing so far have been pretty basic. And I'm not sure if that has to do with, like in this case, the on-chain stuff. But I think if there's a game that comes out that looks fun, has decent graphics, and is like playable but not overly basic, that's going to push it forward.
Yes.
That's where this is bullish though, because these like super nerd games, they're not graphics heavy. That's not where it's fun. The fun is in the mechanics. And so far they've built really good fun mechanics. And shout out to Eric Z in the chat. He has been literally losing sleep over this game and like trying to figure out the game theory for the optimal roles, etc. That's never been my game. I learned by doing. So I'm just a fish in this game. So I'm happy to swim in your stream, Eric Z, if you will. So I think there is a chance here specifically for this RPG style game, but we've also seen others that haven't really developed much that I know of. I'm thinking of Ethermore as one. So yeah, we'll see.
Why are we more playing devil's advocate here? Why are we more bullish on this game than any of these other games that these projects have either promised or even come out with, that where it's just like, even I've heard people that are into Axie Infinity say that they don't even like the game, and it turns into this pay people in the Philippines to do it for you. Yeah. That's not the type of game that I see, really catapulting us into this new, form of NFTs where, we've got these in-game skins, and it's really like this fun game that everybody really wants to play and kind of captures the culture of, everything. So I just don't, why are we more bullish on Orcs than any of these other games? Like, the mechanics are cool. Yeah, it's cool in concept, but once you actually get in there and start playing the game, is it just going to be something that really, really sucks you in? That's what I'm most skeptical on, and why I'm staying away from most of these games, to be honest.
And I think Adam makes a good point in there, but I think it's going to be a card game. But
yeah,
I also think maybe something like Illuvium. Illuvium seems like that could be one that it's an auto chess game. So I'm not sure if you guys know what auto chess is, but basically, like, you have characters on your side, they have characters on their side, and you do like one turn at a time, back and forth. And I think that could catch on because looks like there's going to be good graphics, but it also has like a team behind it that has worked on games before. And it's going to be more about the game versus these games that we're into right now. Even like the Zug, I feel like it's more about still trading the NFTs.
Yeah.
So I think that might be how it flips, is when it becomes more of the game. Because I've heard the same thing about Axie, where it's like, well, if it was so much fun to play, why are you paying other people to do it for you? And I don't think that's what Illuvium would be. I know Jeff would grind the Splinterlands, and I think he like had fun while playing the game. So that like helps you spend more time on it if you're having fun with it already.
Shout out to Jeff.
Yeah.
A Club Wax devotee, allegedly owns enough land right now, a few days ago at least, valued at $700,000 USD. Shout out to
Jeff's
Jeff.
Just saying, fuck a bear market.
I think the main reason you're bullish on Orcs is mainly because it's like they already have like a concept of a game, and you can already do stuff with the contract, and the contract is efficient. So like it's already functioning, where a lot of these are just promises of games. So like they're already working on it. They're already trying to make interactive dungeons. Like, who knows if they're going to be any good, but like they're already in the process of doing that stuff. So, it makes you a little more bullish that it's on chain and they're already like doing things with it. And it might not, the game might not end up being fun, but even I'm just looking forward to like a passive RPG game that has game theory and like decisions. Like if it's basically Dungeons and Dragons, but like in a kind of passively interactive game, like that's better than anything we have right now, other than like Zed, right? So you're picking the bottom of the barrel, but if it's something better than what we have now in terms of utility, like you're happy to have it, I guess. Like people like
get
Zed
Wax back.
People like Zed, and all you're doing is you're putting horses in races and you're watching them for a minute, right? Like it's a game, but it's not a game, right? And people have fun with that. So,
but that has like I guess the kind of you own the horse, and it's very similar to, they made it so similar to actual real life horse racing, and people enjoy going to the track and betting on horses that aren't even theirs. So when you can take a horse and actually own it and then race it and then breed it and then take the offspring and earn passive income from it, I think there's a little bit more to that than just some random game coming out of nowhere saying like, we're going to go battle and do this kind of thing. I mean, maybe I'm off on that, but that's kind of where I see the difference there.
But let me think of like the difference of, you know, how many people love playing Diablo and RPG games growing up. Like now they own a character, they get to raid dungeons for loot. Like, why is that any different than owning a horse? You're owning an orc, right? Like it's kind of the same concept, just two different types of games that people like, right?
Sure.
Yeah. I think
I can see that.
Zed goes along with the, like, you're trying to make money while you're doing it as well. And like, you're betting on horses. So maybe there's going to be some, I mean, kind of like the Owners Club, I guess, in a sense, but like maybe there's going to be some other sort of betting style game.
Yeah. But we're all waiting on
I was
gonna say we're all waiting on Meta Heroes as the game anyway, right? Like, right? Like, so I don't know why you guys are so
what type of game
so worried about like the future of NFT games. Like, we all know what it is. And
do we have any idea what style that game is going to be?
AAA. It's AAA.
It's heroes fighting each other basically. And
is it gonna be like Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, and you battle them and
fight
we don't 100% know, but it's gonna be
good. Or is it gonna be like World of Warcraft? Those like battlegrounds. That could be cool.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be like that. Just the best game ever.
Like walk around the worlds that you've purchased. It's gonna be like Decentraland. But I should be on Beanie's team. I got all these good ideas for him.
Oh God, that was really Babs. Credit to you. That was very funny. And you saying Diablo, I need to that's my ringtone now. I need that to be whenever I get a notification you saying Diablo. I really enjoy that. If you want probably more informed takes about gaming and PvE in NFT world, I would check out the Take Cast with Davis Maddock this past week. Yes. He had on D's, who I agreed with his take on PvEs, which basically PvE is bullshit. It's not, you don't love the game, you love the money you make from the game, so deal with it. And that's kind of the counter argument that we're making, which is orcs seems fun. And yeah, if we make money, that is the primary goal, but we'd like to have fun while doing it. And I think to say, I don't know, you might have fun watching a horse run in a straight line. I personally do not. So for those of you who are Zed maxis, how often do you just sit there and watch your horse actually run? I don't think you really do that.
Because a tournament.
I think Zed appeals to degen gamblers more than they do gamers, right? Whereas, so I think when we're talking about gamers here, or games and stuff like that, we're trying to get those gamers in who are, you know, all about the skins and just put loads and loads of money into those skins and weapons and actually play it to enjoy the game. Whereas Zed is absolutely just a degen gambler platform more than anything in my mind, which there's nothing wrong with that because there's plenty of money to be made there. And it's still fun. The horses look cool, you know, and it's got the mechanics and everything, but yeah, I think they're pretty different.
Yeah. We're talking about like games that are on an app, like a Clash of Clans, right? Like that's a game that kids get addicted to, adults get addicted to, and you don't pay to play it, but you can like get add-ons to get further along in the game. Like that, I think that's the style that it's going to become. Or it's going to be like a Fortnite, a League of Legends, where there's like, oh, you don't have to pay to play, but look, this exclusive skin's out for the next week and you can pay $20 for this skin. I think that's how I originally envisioned it. But if Epic Games and Steam aren't going to allow that, then I'm not sure that's necessarily going to be a thing anytime soon.
All right. We're a little bit late, but we promised the people in the Discord. Let's talk Shamdoo. Can I hear the bull case on Shamdoo from anybody about Shamdoo, about why it's slam dunk, why it's going to 10 ETH or whatever the call is on Shamdoo? Who would like to take the start for Shamdoo?
I mean, I guess I could. he's putting 80% of the profits towards the DAO. So after sellout, he had 440 ETH already, and then he had another 15 ETH from secondary sales already. And so he did a vote in the Discord. They're doing a punk, which he just bought. This is what this run has been off of. Just bought a punk for about 100 ETH, and then he's getting a cool cat. And was the third? Was it a toad, or was it?
I would like that.
I forget what the third one was.
But why do we care so much? Like the Kitty Bank has 800 ETH worth of these, and like they already have a punk, they have a Bored Ape, they have, I don't know, 50 dusty crystals. But like, why do we care so much that Shamdoo is doing this over Carlini?
I mean, I don't think it's that we do. I think it's that other people do.
I guess why do other people do, right?
I mean, if Carlini was tweeting like Shamdoo, I think it might be where, it might have that same hype. But I mean, Carlini, he just does, that's not how he's doing it. He's building it like a real company, like a real corporation almost. And, he's going to be around for a long time. It's not just this, pump and dump, regardless of what, Shamdoo's intentions are. I mean, he's just pumping this like crazy right now. So good for early investors for sure. But I think that's the difference right there.
Yeah, it's more so buying into something at 0.05 that pretty easily can get to 0.4. And I think that's what right now in our current market, there aren't many opportunities like that. And this one is, that and this is what Carlene talks about a lot. And this was the whole thing with like Gary V and V Friends early on was, they have a reputation to hold. And I feel like at this point, Shamdoo kind of has some sort of reputation that if he were to rug people and he's like 16, like how is he going to ever be part of a project again?
What?
Someone doxed him the other day too, I think. So yeah,
it's not an Anon project is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like he's someone who's in the space and like notably in the space. So if this happens, like, look at Beanie now after Blute. Everything comes back to, oh, well, I thought Blute was your life work, this, that. So like one mess up, it just completely changes how everyone's going to look at you.
Yeah.
So you have like more like skin in the game when it's your own project.
Sure. Well, a garlic head just went for 0.75.
Yeah. I mean,
why? I don't know.
Don't they have more already in this DAO than the mutant cats do? I mean, there might only be like 2 of those.
The mutant cats only did they only did like a couple cool cats, didn't they? I can't remember.
Someone said they did a punk. They bought a punk at 2, I think. They might have 8 cool cats, I want to say.
That's a lot of cool cats.
Yeah. So the floor is 0.44 right now. I'm not trying to say that the floor is going to be 2 or anything, but at a 0.05 mint, and it was relatively like I got in at 0.08. I want to say it was like 0.055 mint, and we got in early enough that, to say that this would have a floor under 0.15, like it was pretty easy to see that it would have at least that, I guess, is my thinking. Like I'm not trying to say this is the next like, oh, this is going to be Toads going to 14 ETH or whatever they got to. Like it's more so saying that a lot of people in our Discord bought in bulk, and this is one to like buy in bulk.
Totally. Well, and what I'm miffed at is people who bought in bulk and are like, nope, diamond hands. This is it. This is the one going to the moon. Like, what? That's what seems crazy. You are banking on a 16-year-old. What were you doing when you were 16? Were you helping other people make money? Fuck no, you weren't. No, you were trying to make money yourself. You were distracted with other stuff. Shamdoo could be different. He might be different. He's better than me when I was 16. He's smarter than me. He's doing more. Sell on the way up. That's all that I'm saying.
I'm currently pre-rolling it. Like 8 of them.
Yeah, I'm not quite there yet. I'm definitely, once the stream's over, I'm probably gonna honestly, full disclosure, sell a couple. But to be completely clear, I'm not criticizing Carlini there. I saw a few comments there. I should probably comment on that. Not criticizing Carlini or even saying that Shamdoo's doing this better than him. In fact, you'll find me selling off all my Shamdoos before you catch me selling off all of my Carlini or Purrnelope's. I like the way that he's doing it. Those, I've told Babs this, I'm looking to invest in projects that have legitimate founders and creators and teams that I believe are going to be around even if a bear does hit. And Carlini and the Purrnelope's in general are one of those projects, no doubt. So that's why I'm bullish on them. I'm just saying Shamdoo is just pumping these like crazy on Twitter. And that's what in this climate, I guess, that's what gets the projects moving, is when you're seeing the Beanie-esque tweets, right?
This is, yes, Trey. Thank you, Trey. We loved Beanie until we didn't love Beanie. And when did we love Beanie? When he was making us money. And when do we not love Beanie? When he's not making us money. So
when he rubs us on stacked toads, we don't like him anymore.
Of course. This game is hard. The game right now with this case, it feels kind of easy in that, let's take, for example, the Doodles that happened. So Poopy's Doodles, which is an incredible sentence that
also
turned into a blue chip.
A DAO that came out
Also
same
a
day with the same amount of money in DAO.
Correct. So the Poopy Doodles, Poopy's Doodles.
Poopy's,
the project is the Doodles, came out, and they were a blue chip, I think, right from the start. We knew the mint was going to be gassy. There was a big pre-sale, whatever. And there was a deep U to start. And I know a few people in the Discord, specifically TD, was buying low on the U. And then hopefully TD sold up because it's U'd further. But we've seen this price action hundreds of times, of course. Hold on one second. Eric, the blockchain's forever. I bought 10, I've sold 5. There you go. That's my exposure. I still have 5. So we've seen a deep U multiple times. We've seen big run-ups multiple times. So what happens? Babs, pop quiz. When does this floor start falling?
Like the Doodle floor or the Shamdoo?
Shamdoo floor.
Yeah, like I think it probably gets to maybe 0.55. I think that's going to be the ceiling, like maybe 0.6.
No, time. Give me time.
Oh, time.
We know what time.
Oh, yeah. Tomorrow, by tomorrow morning, it'll fall.
Tomorrow morning.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, it's got tonight. It's got tonight, and then maybe
3x
by
bump
tonight, and then maybe by the time people wake up on the East Coast, it's fallen, and it probably won't get back up to where it was. Like that's my call.
So you think
I've been wrong before.
You think it would like get up to 6, drop back
Yeah.
to 4, and not go back up
and
to
kind
like
of
1?
and settle there probably.
Yeah.
I like right now in this kind of market, I just don't see them getting to 1 and staying there consistently. Like too many people minted in bulk. Too many people, want to take the profits after minting dusty stuff all week, right? Like I'm just happy we have Shamdoos to make some money and that we can still make money in this market. Like it's nice to see. I just don't see right now them going over 1. Because I'll use like Dangy brought up Doodles as an example. Like to me, Doodles were a no doubter. Like these are, they're in the hands of a bunch of whitelisters who are all, supposedly diamond hand kind of people. We all paid probably at least 0.9 to mint them. And yet the floor is below 0.75 right now. And like, it's a good project backing it. Like, so if that can't stay above 1, like why should Shamdoos, right?
Yeah. And I think
weren't Wassies the same way though? I mean, that's the vibe that I honestly get from this is, and maybe I'm just fudding it or whatever, but it just seems like this quick thing that everybody jumps and latches onto on Twitter, and you get that quick, everybody's talking about it, the price runs up, it mints out, whatever. And then a week or 2 or 3 weeks from now, it's just like there's another Doodles or there's another Wassies or there's another something that comes along that just takes everybody's attention away. And you can say that for a lot of projects, but that's kind of the vibe I get from this, just because it kind of came out of nowhere. And it was just handed to some of these people. And now I just don't think that they're going to, yeah.
Yeah,
Problem
I
with the
think the
Doodles is
Doodles
like
have been
they
around for a while.
well, they closed their Discord like 3 weeks ago. So you couldn't even get in the Discord if you wanted to. Like you couldn't get in the whitelist if you wanted to. They gave everyone on the whitelist 5 each, which I don't know why you needed to. So like it kind of felt
look
like
up alphabetic floor right now.
Yikes.
I
Is
think
it
it's
bad?
under
Scared.
0.05.
Oh yeah.
That's sad. I liked the
I did like
alphabets.
the Betties.
But yeah, like the Doodles art's unique. I kind of like it that way. Like it feels a little different. But I don't know. Like, is it gonna survive? Who knows? Like Jungle Freaks is still hanging out around 1 ETH, which I'm surprised at too. So, you know, we still have some projects that are winners, which I'm surprised at, and even like the board apes, the board party apes, like those are hanging in there. Which like some of these I'm just surprised at for considering we've been minting dust for about a week.
And what's crazy to me is that the Shamdoo project is the same thesis, 0.89 sale on the Shamdoos, the same thesis as the Doodles, a well-known backer, creator of the project. We think they're going to pamp the hell out of it, and that's the thesis. End of story. Basically, that's my thesis. At least we knew who it was. We can relatively trust them. That's fine. I just choose to trust. This sentence is ridiculous. I choose to trust Poopy over a 16-year-old.
Well, and the fact that we had some huge sales, like we haven't mentioned it yet, but we had 2 40 ETH sales in our Discord. Like that's crazy. Like
40.001
money thrown around that much at projects on like the rares, like that should at least drive hype, but it didn't really overly, I'd say. But you know, like we've seen this before where things dip. Like what did the toads get down to after mint? Like that's a good example. So you don't call anything out yet, but I guess. But
I got Toad at 0.39.
Did you?
When we looked up earlier, that Toad has most recently sold for 14. So you know it happens. It could happen. Yeah, that's the thing. Is it's like the people buying into this. It kind of goes back to what we were saying the other week, where the people buying into this are more likely to hold them long term. And I think there's been a few sales over 50. There's been a lot of sales over 5, and we haven't really seen that with many projects recently. Like Mechaverse we did, but I think with the Doodles, what's going to happen is there's going to be some sort of announcement of a utility, or kind of like the Shamdoo thing where this is what we're buying with the DAO, and that could boost it again. It's kind of like a more expensive Purrnelope right now, is I guess how I think of it, because of like who the people in it are. It seems like it's going to be more long term. Like Poopy, you know, the thesis of the play, he quit Dapper to make this his thing. So I don't really see Doodles necessarily just going away very quickly, but I think there was a lot of people that didn't even know it was a DAO. They took the DAO out of the name of it, and I'm guessing that has to do with the whole OpenSea stuff with like DAO turtles, and they don't want to get delisted. So they completely took the word DAO out of it. So I don't know, maybe they're going to have some announcement coming up about next steps, and that'll get people back in and happy. I just think timing wise, like if the Doodles came out 3 weeks ago, then I think floor would be like 3 right now. So that could be part of it too. Timing.
100%. Eric in the chat, it's hard to tell when people are just shit posting versus actually bringing arguments. I'm not sure. I'm going to treat this one as genuine. Kind of. There's nothing feel good about the Doodles, bunch of fancy pants rich artists and influencers versus a 16-year-old generational kid. I'm not a big fan of Fleur and his paid advertising and his blatant pump and dumps on projects. Shamdoo has been connected via Twitter to Fleur pumping and dumping projects. Leaves a bad taste in my mouth for a 16-year-old kid to be involved in pump and dumps. Sure, young and dumb, I get it. Doesn't understand what he could be doing. That doesn't strike me. That tells me it's a person who chooses to use their influence in a negative way. Which now we're tying how much ETH in it. Right now I have 5 times 0.4, so that's 2 ETH. That's a lot of money that I'm tying to this kid. So I don't know. We'll see.
Paying his college fund.
Okay, great. Is that or he's killing me in the chat. He's killing me. Anything else on the poopy doodles?
I think it
No.
should be. We had what 2 40 ETH sales and an 8 ETH sale. There
Huge.
was there more than that? I know we had another one that was like top 100, but I don't know if that's been sold yet. Did Bose have
I
that?
mean,
one?
what are the odds that we get 2 top 15? That's crazy. Out of 10,000, that is just nuts. I thought that there was it seems like when that happens, there's usually like the rarity is off by like 1 or something, and we're doing the metadata wrong. But man, our group kind of hit the nuts. That's for sure.
Yeah. Those are the 3 big ones. But the downside is if you hit floors, they all kind of look the same, right? So
that might be why it's down a little bit.
No, they do. It's the whole Mechaverse thing, and we haven't really talked about Mechaverse, but again, you know, maybe we should, because it was such a big thing for this week, the reveal and all that. But
there's a lot of projects like that now, I feel like.
Yeah. So like if all the 10,000 look the same and you don't feel like any of them are special, like it's why buy one over the other? Why not wait till the floor keeps dropping, right? So like that kind of. I do think hurts projects, and again, the whole Mechaverse thing. Like, I do think that's part of the reason why it's crashing so hard. Is why do I buy this one when I can wait 2 days and buy another one that looks exactly the same for cheaper, right?
Yeah. Just before we went live, I saw some folks on Twitter. They're in like the Snuggly Club or whatever on crypto Twitter. They're in the Snuggles over on the Doodles, which I think is cute. They're in a big old parka. I don't know what you'd call it up in Canada. A big bunny, a bear hug. What's that, Lou?
I believe the trait is puffer.
Oh, yeah. You should get a big puffer coat. So it's cool. It's a vibe. Like I get it. I'm looking forward to wearing a hoodie for a while for the rest of my life. It'd be great. So that's a little different than Mechaverse, to your point, Babs, because I'm not going to say like, oh yeah, green face triangle. Like that's not a club.
Yeah.
The club could be a puffer club.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, and that's what when I was looking, I wasn't looking for just a floor. And this is something that I always go back to Deadheads. I don't know why, but I know when Babs and I were going back and forth on looking at Deadhead stuff, I'm only looking at skeletons. Like all of the floors were humans. And that also happened with the Knights of Degen, where it's like people only want the robots or the aliens. But the problem is, because they're rarer, then you have like 8,000 that people like don't want unless they have something cool with them. So I feel like that's something that happens with these human projects. But I mean, goops are all rare. Or head douse, I guess, as we're putting in this one. How many more of after this one succeeds in the way that it has been, we're going to see more of these style?
Isn't this
what is
the nouns?
Go ahead, Babs.
I was gonna say, isn't this like a complete copy? I didn't buy those ones that you guys were all going on. That was it. The goops they were called.
Goop troop.
Yeah, and so how are those how are those doing? Like, aren't these exact copy for the art? Like, I'm confused as to it feels like it's stolen, right? Like it honestly feels like it's stolen.
No, the nouns art is open. So
yeah.
Anybody can use it.
So kind of the same thing with toads, right? Like it's open. So okay, that's fair. It just felt exactly the same otherwise, right?
Yeah, I think it's all on chain. At least the goops were. But this is it's just a cheaper version of Gremlin's nouns, where there's a DAO attached to it. I mean, the noun DAO has like 9,000 ETH or something like that in it. That's a pretty dope one to be in. If anyone has 100 to 150 ETH that they're willing to drop on a noun, they drop each day until, for eternity, I believe is how it's worded. But yeah, those ones, like every day it's at least 100 ETH. All the big name people are all about the nouns.
The one I saw recently was 200.6.
Crazy.
Did we cause the head DAO floor to start crashing? Like we fudded it and now it's like down to 0.375.
Oh, $0 sale. Oh my God.
There was a zero sale.
We fudded it.
It's gotta be private.
Bose just sold. Guys.
For zero?
Bose just had a 40 ETH sale and he's eking out.
He should be sweeping the floor.
9X.
What is this bullshit?
This is unbelievable, Bose. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Maybe he meant to list it for 45.
That's gotta be what it is.
Had a period in there. No, it's
Must be.
0.45.
Gotta be. So I wanted to pull on a macro topic, which is marketplaces are coming out. They're coming. And one stat that I saw briefly on Twitter today was Coinbase NFT has more people on their wait list, or more email addresses to be accurate for those of you multi-accounting, more email addresses on their wait list than wallets on OpenSea. Pre-sale greater than OpenSea active. That's insane.
That is insane.
What do we think about, not necessarily Coinbase in particular, but we could go there if we want, but what about the marketplaces coming, and what is that going to do to the NFT world for us? Who wants to go first on what they think about that macro trend? Fine, Babs. What do you have, Babs?
So like, yeah, like I think it's very bullish if we can get Coinbase users to actually trade in NFTs. I don't know how many Coinbase accounts there are. I thought I remember seeing a stat, and it was a quite large number of active Coinbase accounts. But even if, say, you can convert, 2 to 5% of those people to NFT trading, like that's a lot of new users. That's a lot of new money that might come in. And I honestly think the bullish case for NFTs, the only way it survives and it keeps kind of pumping like this is money keeps coming in, right? Like I think that was the downfall of Top Shot. New money stopped coming in. And once new money stops coming in, like all we're doing is trading around old money and OpenSea is taking a fee of it, right? So the only way this survives long-term over the next year is you keep having new people come in with new money, right? So I'm bullish. Like I hope it succeeds. Like, new marketplaces, new users, like that's the bull case for NFTs, right? Long-term.
Totally. Trey, what do you have on new marketplaces?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for this. I had a tweet about it that, just said, hey, this is undoubtedly good for just marketplace competition. People have been calling this for forever, saying that we need, calling out how bad OpenSea can be at times when it's down and how it needs a competitor, because it really was just a unicorn. And so, but I also saw a tweet from someone else that was like, it's like the most obvious take ever. Like, oh, Coinbase is going to be huge and it's going to be, it's going to pump everything. And it's like, yeah, that's an obvious take, I guess. But I guess the way I'm looking at it is Coinbase, they have a proven track record of onboarding new users who are not familiar with crypto into crypto. And they've got these cool, I haven't done any, I guess I haven't even done any of them, but you can do these like learning games and stuff on their
God,
on
you
their
don't
app
do that? It's free money.
I haven't done it yet. I know I should.
I've made like $100 on
but
this.
I don't,
They
I
just
know,
give you
I don't
money.
Yeah, I should probably do that.
You definitely should.
Okay. But either way, I mean, they've done stuff like that. I think they, in my opinion, represent the crypto community very well, and stand up for the values of the crypto community. So in my eyes, this is awesome. Now, whether they can execute something like this, I mean, OpenSea's been around and building this for 3 years and been in NFTs for years. Where is Coinbase on that kind of spectrum? At this point, how far along are they in terms of, are they going to be able to stick this landing? They're obviously it seems like if they're coming out in late 2021, they've probably been working on this for a long time and, been looking at what OpenSea is doing and probably taking some of the good things from there. So I'm really, really bullish on this. I hope that, this can bring in some new people to NFTs, because we've been talking about it. NFTs appeal to the common guy or the common man a lot more than crypto does. So if they can successfully bring people in, which I think they can, then it could be huge.
Do you think it'll hurt OpenSea, the idea of right now when people ask me, how do I get into NFTs? You say, buy ETH on Coinbase, move it to MetaMask, and buy on OpenSea. So that's going to take out a step. Is that going to hurt OpenSea? I think I read that you'll be able to like interchange the wallets and be able to still use MetaMask on Coinbase, but I mean, traffic on OpenSea might go down because of that. I'm not sure if that'll hurt or help any of these things. Maybe they'll have less of a fee on OpenSea once that starts happening to get you to use that or something. But you think it'll hurt OpenSea
or a token?
Oh,
That
yeah, dollar
airdrop?
open.
Well,
What?
we'll get Lou. Remember that question, but on the token point, show you marketplace as a part of sushi. I know that's coming, and you can currently stake sushi as X sushi. And once the marketplace comes out, you will get a percentage of marketplace fees paid back to you. So it's like one-sided staking, but for an NFT marketplace coming up. So that's something to look into if you're interested in marketplaces and competition, specifically decentralized stuff, because sushi is pretty interesting in that area as far as DeFi goes. And ideologically is a little bit different than Coinbase as far as if you're placing your money somewhere. That's one thing to consider. But as far as it being bad for OpenSea, I could see it being rough for some OpenSea NFTs. The interoperability is built in by default for most of them. For example, the Club NGMI token is on the OpenSea contract. That's likely not going to be over in Coinbase available to buy.
What's the percentage?
Remember,
What's the percentage that would be, only OpenSea NFTs? Like that's what I'm curious. Like, how much would we care if, say, Coinbase became more popular? Like, how many of our bags are dustier, right? Like, I'm in my head, I'm thinking most of the NFTs would be interchangeable between the two, but maybe I'm wrong.
And the wave of new users probably outweighs the dustiness of our bags that can't be moved over.
That's
right?
what I was wondering.
That's probably how I would look at it. I doubt there's that many that would truly be affected by it. Hopefully Coinbase has they can't launch this without having interoperability and allowing most 90% of NFT projects to move over, or else it's just not going to be successful.
Well, it's like you can open up your Rainbow wallet and see your NFTs within a Rainbow wallet. That's not affiliated with OpenSea. So don't think that NFTs are on OpenSea. They're on Ethereum.
Oh yeah.
But if
I knew that. I was just wondering how many of them are like, on the OpenSea contract. If we were doing,
to be clear, that was for the people more than the people on the show.
Okay. Yeah. I was like,
Rarible has a coin, but people don't seem to care enough to use Rarible. It's kind of weird that when I first started trading OpenSea, it was Rarible that I was trading on, and then I earned Rary, that token, and then all of a sudden it just clicked and switched over to OpenSea. I think because of a lot of the collections work better on OpenSea, but art and small one-of-ones worked better on Rarible. But now it's just people got used to, because of all these 10K projects coming out, people got used to OpenSea more, and then I don't even check Rarible anymore unless I have the 888 thing that you can't use on OpenSea, and then that's the last time I used Rarible. So it's weird because it just seems like everyone's so used to it now that how is Coinbase going to win out? It's going to probably be in beta to start, right?
I think it's an easy answer, and I think it ties into what we should actually do as far as actionable advice. You as an investor who wants to stack ETH should investigate these new marketplaces. And similar to DeFi, they need to find users. How do you find users? You airdrop cash at them. So there's going to be incentive for you to go over there at some point in time. So being early can be helpful. Finding things to stake, like what I mentioned on Show You, I think that could be lucrative. I don't know. Who knows? You could lose your sushi. You know how it goes. Not financial advice. But I think it's going to follow the DeFi model as far as Avalanche Rush that we discussed a little bit ago, where they just have $20 million. And they're like, sure, well, here you go. We want users. We want money on our marketplace to be able to tell other investors we have X number of dollars locked up in our marketplace. People are using it. Therefore, you should give us more money to build. I think it's fairly easy to see that coming for the different marketplaces coming in. Hold on, we got breaking news. From Adam T.
I can't believe that one.
Is that real?
I would have never guessed that.
And what's the reason?
Crazy.
Is it
Are you allowed to say that
below?
word on YouTube?
I mean, Galactic Apes. Yes, you can.
Yeah. Okay.
Come on.
But is it because mechas fell below?
Yeah.
What are each of the floors?
Galactic Apes were kind of going up last I checked. I think it was 1.45 or something. And I think it hit a low of 1.2, but I haven't checked recently. But
Gotcha. Okay. What are some upcoming projects that we have that we're looking for? I have a very easy one. I think that's still not minted out. That I'll start with. We were looking at the Boongies before. I think they're still going on because they had some issues related to their whitelist and minting, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So now I think it's all raffle. Is that right, Babs?
It's
Bougie?
still that they're still doing the Dutch auction, I thought, but I thought they were just raffling out more whitelist spots.
I see.
But I think they're still planning on doing the public Dutch auction on the 21st, I believe. Yeah, the 21st of it's coming up. So, and to be honest, like I like, how are you guys feeling about that? Like after they messed up, like does it change your perspective, or are you still wanting to mint?
The Dutch auctions are always hard because if you want it, you can buy it. As far as like you mentioned on the gas war stuff, it's skill, and then I get it, and then somebody else wants to pay more. They don't want to bother with the pain of a gas war. Great. Dutch auction, you can just kind of sit and buy stuff. So I don't know. I do think they're cool.
Yeah, like I agree with that. But then you think of the party degens we did today, and most of us got them probably around 0.6, and I think the floor was like already 0.9, and that was 4 hours later. So, and that was a Dutch auction. So like you don't really know, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So, same thing with the, like obviously the mutant apes too, right? Like those were Dutch auction, but more of a stealth drop. But I don't know. I'm just curious. Like I'll probably mint one still, but I don't feel as confident as I might have last week.
Yeah. I like that kind of art. I vibe with that. So I will probably just get one, depending on where the price gets, I guess. But in general, I'm not, going out of my way to mint 10 or 5 or 10, but I think most people are just being more selective in general. So something that they don't have a ton of conviction on, like Boongies probably, they're not going to be firing off a ton of mints on a 0.3 at the very minimum. Who knows where it gets to, but I guess we'll have to see the momentum and how much people are talking about it on the 21st, I think. So on Thursday is when they release at 6.
Yeah.
6 o'clock on. Yeah.
See, I think those look really cool.
Yeah, I like them too. Like the art, like again, we have similar art tastes, so like I'm kind of excited to get one. But yeah, I wouldn't I'm not going to fire 5 if they're over 2 Ethereum either, right? So.
Oh no.
I mean that's just the concern right now is these ones that you pay up for to mint. That's kind of goes back to the Shamdoo theory. It's like, what's the worst on a 0.055 mint? Is you're losing 0.055, but like mechas, you buy in at 6 ETH and it drops down to this 1.5. Like that's a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. So I don't know. That's the tough part with the Boongies.
And yeah, like we all like I don't know who did it, but I did that fusion Dutch auction the other day too, and that wasn't fun. You think again, I think it's kind of a no doubter, and it ends up being 60% of what you pay. The floor drops out to 16% of what you paid. Isn't a great feeling either. So again, this might be the similar case to that if the Dutch auction price is too low. I think if it goes below one Ethereum, like you're laughing. But again, where's it settle at?
For sure. Trey, what are you looking at coming up? If anything.
I really don't. It's probably the same answer as last week. That Stringify is just, I know I'm one of the only ones that's in it along with Allison and the other one, GMB, but man, I just keep getting more and more excited about that, based on the Discord numbers and the amount of people that are looking to get in, and those kind of things where it's just kind of a cool like puzzle or game, and it kind of has this like mysterious vibe around it. That kind of stuff seems to do well. Obviously, it sounds like the people that got in are going to be on the whitelist, and that might be the only way to get in. I guess I'm not sure. They're, like I said, they're kind of holding a ton of information back at this point, but they've done a really, really good job at, building up this hype and trying to get people to jump in and, tweeting out these cryptic phrases and stuff to get people, excited about it. So I am looking forward to that, whatever it is, just to just because I'm out of pure curiosity.
I've been trying to get in that door, and I'm like so fed up. It's so annoying. It's so, like it's
Well,
the
and that's
worst
why the
ever.
day-
And like I
That's why
didn't
the day it
mind like
happened.
the hidden noise one. Like it's fun, just like taking 2 minutes out of your day to write
Yeah.
on a piece of paper. But like this Stringify one feels like so much work. Like you always have to be watching the Discord. You have to try and solve a puzzle. Like eventually, it just gets to be annoying almost, right? But
I don't even understand it. I get the tweet notification, and then I've given up on even going to the Discord to try to race it, because I kind of get it where you do one of the slash commands, but then you have to like answer it right. Like this, it'll give you a question, and you have to answer the question right.
But getting the
there's
slash command right's hard.
Well,
even.
you
Like,
got to once you get past the slash command, that's where I could potentially help you out, I think, because I don't know that the answers to the door, once the door bot actually, opens up a thread for you, I don't know if that has changed yet. But yeah, that's why when it originally came out, I was like, everybody kind of bailed on it. And it seemed like we were onto something. So I was like, usually I'm not one to grind whitelist, but I was just like, screw it. I spent like 3 hours there. I don't know how long it was, but I spent a considerable amount of time in my office kind of grinding that out. So kind of glad I did.
That seems worth it for now. Lou, is your screen share related to your upcoming project?
Technically, it's not upcoming. It happened today.
Oh.
But yeah, so there's that TikTok one finished today. It went for 28 ETH. Do you want to watch it? Or there's sound if you want to do the sound. It's kind of cool. It's cooler than I thought it was going to be, I guess. Do I have the sound?
yeah, show it.
Will it have audio? We're going to find
And
out.
so this is on OpenSea, right? It looks like it. Find this NFT. Okay, so
It's
it
through
transferred
Immutable.
over.
But yeah. So on OpenSea, wow, that just brings you to OpenSea.com. But anyway,
And then you,
Bored
Can
in
you
the
hear
house
it?
and I'm in the house bored.
Yep.
Bored in the motherfucker in the house bored and I'm bored in the motherfucker in the house bored. Bored in the house, bored in the house bored. Bored in the house, bored in the house bored. I'm bored in the motherfucker in the house bored. Okay, I'm bored in the house and I'm in the house bored. Bored in the house and I'm in the house bored. Okay, I'm bored in the house, bored. Bored in the house, bored in the house, bored. I'm bored in the motherfucker in the house, bored. Okay, I'm bored in the house and I'm in the house, bored.
so a little more than just like the clip, and there's more like art to it. It's kind of cool.
I like Curtis Roach. I legitimately do. I've
He's
not
the
liked
one
him
you name
for-
dropped the other week, wasn't it?
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've liked him for like 5 years or so. I'm not paying $100,000 for that NFT. There's no chance in hell.
I mean, that's the first one too, though, right? Like, there's that narrative behind it. It's nice to see that it went for that much. It's not
That's a
like
good
a
point.
fail if it went for 2 ETH or something. So I don't know. That was the one that I saw because that auction ended earlier today. And it's like a minute-long clip.
Short to the point. Trey, you were right. We should have talked about Impact Theory, that NFT project from Tom. I forget his last name. I apologize, Tom. Where it's
Milieu.
Tom
I think
Milieu.
I might have Billier.
Billieu.
I might have butchered the pronunciation of the last name there. I've actually never heard it, but yeah.
So where is that in the process? Because I know they were minting the 3 ETH founders key, and I heard something in the Discord about cutting the price. Did that happen?
Well, it was what was going to happen is those on the whitelist were going to be able to mint for, their respect. You could get the legendary, the heroic, or something like that, and then the relentless tier, I think it was. So one was 3, one was 1.5, and one was 0.1. And if you're on the whitelist, you got access no matter what. You could go in there and buy it. I think it was on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday last week, starting with legendary and then relentless on Friday. And then they were going to do whatever was left over from any of those mints was going to go on to a Dutch auction. So the legendary would start at 3 and then it would just continually go down. So they even admitted, they said, hey, if you're on the whitelist, you're paying 3 ETH, you're guaranteed your mint. However, there's a chance that people could get it for less, but they're also taking the risk that they might not even be available. So that was kind of the game theory that went into it. I ended up buying one of the legendary tiers. So I got in. That was the only one that I bought. I wanted to do relentless, but I got busy on Friday and then honestly just kind of forgot about it. So I guess I'll have to maybe go back and look and see what those are at on OpenSea. But I jumped in on the legendary theory or the legendary tier. I know a lot of people were thinking about it. Maybe 3 ETH is a lot to spend on something like that, especially in this economy. So definitely don't blame people, but I've kind of followed Tom for a while. I just noticed that he was into the NFT space here in the last, couple months. And I was like, wow, my worlds are kind of colliding. I used to listen to him. Oh no. I used to listen to some of his podcasts back in the day. So I thought it was kind of cool and wanted to support the project.
What did the Dutch auction on the public go to for the 3 ETH one? Do you know?
I honestly don't even know.
Oh, okay.
I didn't follow it after I bought mine because honestly, it's a long-term hold for me. It won't be something that I'm selling anytime soon. So really, I didn't really care, but I did notice that the floor was holding up right around 3. I honestly thought that people would jump in and try and flip it. And the price would maybe even come down below mint. I think it did briefly there. It might have even gotten down to 2, but I think it rebounded pretty quick. So we had a quick U there, and I'm not sure what it's sitting at right now currently. But just in general, I mean, it kind of had that VFriends vibe to me, and it's another team that you just know is going to be around for a while and has been building this for 8 months. So those are kind of the projects that I'm looking to get behind. And Babs, you always say, like, on these types of projects, people want the top tier, right? So if you're gonna jump in and and you have conviction around it, then it makes sense to make that investment.
Yeah, like I was pretty close to doing it, but I just I hate buying stuff that I think is going to be underwater.
I get it.
So that was my I just looked. The floor was 2.38, but there's only like 12 below 3. So it's not bad. Like I'm assuming those 12 will get scooped up and it'll be back to 3 in no time. But again, I just hate buying stuff where in my head I think the floor is going to be below mint within a week. I just philosophically have a hard time with that sometimes.
Yeah, now you could technically get in for 2.38 if you really wanted to, right? So maybe that was the play. Maybe I should have been doing that, but I just felt like it made more sense. I kind of just jumped in on it. I regretted not jumping in on VFriends. Like a lot, because I was, I like Gary V. I know that people have their qualms with him and his style and everything, but I do like Gary. I support him. And so, I was into that, but gas was so crazy back then and I just didn't have the liquidity. So I think if he released that now, it'd be a whole different story. I'd be blasting off on it. So had a similar vibe, maybe a little, obviously not the same level, but I was excited for it. So I went for it.
What was the floor in that? Is it 2.4-ish on the legendary?
2.3.
Yeah, I think for the legendary ones it is.
Okay. That's only 8.2 Shamdows. So if you were holding 8.2 Shamdows, you can sell those and then get a legendary.
Should have minted more Shamdows.
I think I'm only holding 7. So I just can't.
Well, guess you're not legendary.
At one point in the show, I could have.
You were legendary for about 30 minutes.
I had a feeling that was going to happen. I'm not going to lie.
That it would go up during the show.
Yes, and then just
Dangy calling the top.
Yeah, putting it on a whiteboard.
I mean, I literally have this because I don't know what I'm doing, and so like 10 minutes before the show, I start writing stuff down, and then I use it for bits. It's pretty fun. We are remiss because we've left for an hour into the show to say congratulations to Lou Dog, who is moving to a new role So Lou, what are you doing?
I'm gonna be doing content with Lucky Trader. So basically like this sort of stuff. Videos, intro to helping people onboard on. They opened the platform last week, and I mean they were what everyone was looking at yesterday for the Doodles for their rarity. So they have rarity on there, and then today they put out for the beta testers this OpenSea Chrome extension where basically you can go on there and see the rarities right under the images on assuming the project is one that they cover. You can see that right on there. You can also add and do multiple what's the word, either max bidding or max listing on there. So say you want to list 5 of your Shamdoos, you can select all 5 and then you can list them all at the same time. You could price them differently, price them the same. Yeah, so Shamdoo is not on there. That's why they all say rarity 51. But what's this buy now is CYBB? You have another extension in there?
Yeah, don't worry about that. That's Crypto Baby. Dan H from the Discord and I bought those, and they have an extension that does not the same things as Lucky Trader, but similar stuff. And they're behind Lucky Trader. I'll say that and what they're developing. So yeah, it's another one that I use.
I've always seen that in some of your screenshots and wondered what the heck it was, but I just never have really cared to ask. So
yeah, when are you going to create an extension? I feel like you could probably create one.
Yeah, we'll see. I've got some time on my hands coming up soon.
You have a lot of time now.
Yeah. Well, let's throw this back at you. When you starting
to grind the whitelist for us, right?
No, this was a terrible segue from like Lou getting like a literal dream job. To like, hey, that Chrome extension, Dangy, what was that about? Oh God, incredible! Congratulations.
You're gonna be grinding whitelist for Sneaky, right? That's
he put out a post. I'm the new whitelist guy. Yeah, as of the next show, next Monday is my last day at my day job full time. I don't do anything easily, so I'm doing some part-time work there, doing some work over there. But basically we're gonna reskill. We're gonna be a nerd. So yeah, I don't think I'll be writing Chrome extensions, but we'll see. I'm gonna come up with some dumb stuff to spend my time doing. And yeah, grinding whitelist will be one of them. Doing more research will be one of them. Getting more to DeFi will be one of them. You'll see some of those fruits of that labor this Wednesday, time TBA, with me and Gump from the Discord. We're going to talk DeFi Kingdom. We, as Jack and Davis and others might say, we got rugged by Taiki, I believe, one of the big DeFi farmer guys. He put out a video on DeFi Kingdom literally today. And we're like, well, crap. We were going to do it on Wednesday.
I'm in his Discord.
Yeah, he's great. And so we're even more bullish now that some guy who knows what he's doing is into it. But yeah, I'm really going to use this time to get interested more into crypto world, NFTs, that kind of stuff. So yeah, very excited about spending more time with you idiots.
Sounds like you're going full on DGen. Like you're just full time DGen now.
He's doing the 50 hours of research for us every time. We can just ask him. He's going to be sitting at his computer researching. He's already got the 50 hours for us. It's going to be awesome.
The Dangy convictions are not going to be a bit anymore. They're going to be real. They're still a bit. Don't do your own research. I'll tell you to sell too early.
Can you do the research on the Playboy NFT for me, please?
No. I mean, yes, I can buy it. That's an easy one to buy.
Yeah.
What's the bull case on that one? Why would you buy that over Shamdoo?
People,
I don't know anything about Playboy. It's a reputable brand.
So is Time.
Isn't
Time's? But it's old. Here, the honest case would be.
I guess that's a question I have.
In tech, porn is early, and like, full stop. I'm not kidding. Like, porn is early to monetize stuff and to try new technology and change things. So I think Playboy is going to be early to NFTs. So I'm curious about what they're going to do. Oh my God. I don't know why I just thought about this, but thinking about brands and stuff. We forgot about Lady Gaga stuff.
It's,
Yeah,
it's
we do have
dusty.
to-
Who cares? Isn't
It's
it
like
dusty?
0.1. It's
Yeah,
like
it's
0.1.
so
It's
dusty.
like,
Who
it's
cares?
not good.
Yeah,
I was so
aren't-
That
mad
was
when I
fun
didn't
though,
get
and
one.
it is cool.
I was so mad.
How is that not pumping?
I couldn't figure out how to read the website because it was in French, and then I got to the address
from
and I didn't know what a
Canada?
French and website. I don't live in Quebec.
Well, what's crazy to me is like, maybe this is why I'm excited to spend time on Crypto World, because just the fact that Dom and Lady Gaga released an NFT and it was in French, and I could possibly get champagne or send champagne to somebody I don't know, just blows my mind. It's kind of like
You got it,
I
didn't
used
you?
to travel a lot for work, and when I was just like, oh my God, I just hate this. I'm in a plane again. Then I would take a step back and like, I'm in a metal tube in the air. Like, what is this? This is wild. So yeah, price action sucks. We were hoping it would be like 10 ETH that the floor was when we bought, but you know, whatever. You live and you learn. I've got a barrel of Italian honey in my pantry downstairs. So life is world. Life is weird. Embrace it. That's my stance.
All it takes is one Gaga tweet. That's it.
Does it
That is true.
though? I feel like whenever these big names, everyone just it's almost like a Shamdoo tweet means more to people buying NFTs than a Gaga tweet would. Like it's not the same market that's following them, at least not yet.
That's probably true.
Isn't that weird?
That's kind of what that's kind of
It
what
is.
Beanie
It
said.
is very weird.
That is kind of what Beanie said.
But it's
about
because
time,
these celebrities.
like he said, basically time doesn't get us. Like they don't get the crypto space. Like no one actually in crypto is interested in time. And then it basically crashed right after he tweeted that, right? Like, and it kind of made
crashed
sense once he
everything.
said it. But he probably killed our bags too. But I do think like almost having a big NFT influencer moves markets more than a celebrity right now.
Yeah.
For like
Well-
Snoop Dogg buys a punk. Like, does anyone care? I don't know.
I think Snoop is one, Shaq is one that people seem to actually care about. But it's tough.
Well, the one difference is I haven't seen Lady Gaga dump 40 ETH on an NFT yet.
Yeah.
They're just outsiders doing it instead of people who are involved in the space. Oh God, got a drink.
But I think that last thing on this, the only reason that I would maybe say that I do agree with you, I think most of the reason for that dynamic is because people look at these celebrities and they're just looked at as like they have a history of just coming in, pumping and dumping and then leaving and not even caring about the NFT space. So I get that. I don't think 99% of the people in the NFT space even know about this.
No.
So the Gaga tweet might put them onto it. And then go, okay, there's only 100 of them. And they look pretty cool. The idea is cool. So I don't know. You never know. We'll see.
Well, we
For
basically
sure.
killed Shamdoo, so maybe you guys just talking about it's going to pump your Gaga champagne.
Yeah.
An hour from now it'll be 0.5.
The most recent sale is 0.279 on
Time to get back in. Getting close
Could
to
be.
it. For you.
Could be. Okay. I think we're about done for tonight. Thank you all for hanging out with us yet again. On behalf of Lou, Trey, and Babs, this was Dangy. Yes, we are cutting the show to shave the save the sham
I'm
dows.
gonna straight back up.
Save the jam.
It might
Save
be
the sham dows. Bye.
Yeah.